talk about how to assist someone up off of the floor. This is for someone who doesn't already have guidelines stating how to get them up off the floor safely. First and foremost, you want to follow all nursing protocols and report any incidences when someone ends up on the floor. You want to make sure they're uninjured before we start moving them. But if someone is uninjured, and we always want to try to have someone get up as independently as possible prior to using a mechanical lift. So as you can see, Allie has fallen on the floor, and we're going to try to attempt to get her up. It's really important that we get down on her level so you're not using bad body mechanics when you're assisting. She's kind of sidelined, sort of on her back right now, so we want to get her at least side sitting or up on hands and knees. And then we can apply a gait belt to then provide some assistance to use the chair to get back in a seated position. So ideally, you'd like to have 2 staff because you're gonna have to eventually support this person a little bit, probably like a min to mod assist. So that means you're not gonna be able to hold the chair also. So you want the second person to hold the chair and make sure it doesn't slide out when you're getting that person up. So we're gonna have Allie try to get over into side sitting. So like I said, you wanna get down on her level, assist her at her shoulder complex and her hips, get her up in side sitting. We'll then get the gait belt. It's important to stay behind her because if she loses her balance and falls back down, you wanna be here to catch her. So, like any gait belt application, you want to apply it low and snug. She's not standing, so you're going to really want to put this on pretty snug so it doesn't loosen up. Now from this position, you can get into kind of a crouch or a half kneel. Apply some pressure, have her put her hands on the seat to help herself push up. You can then stand up, good body mechanics, and then standing or turn around and she can sit. Good. Now we're going to show the process to get someone up off the floor using a mechanical lift. So this is for someone who is not able to get themselves up off the floor using min or mod assistance. So Allie, as you can see, is fallen, she's on the floor. We have to get the sling underneath her. So that means we have to assist her in rolling and then rolling her back onto the sling before we move the mechanical lift in. Okay. So you want to get down on her level just to prevent the strain on your back. And we want to fold the sling and kind of bunch it up and then tuck it under. We'll have her roll this way, bunch it a little bit more, and have her roll back. You want to be providing assistance at the shoulder complexes and at the hips. This helps people to roll more as a unit. So now you can see that as I roll her back, you can then reach under and kind of pull the slack that we bunched up on the other side. And then you can roll her back this way. The sling doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be around her. Sometimes you might have to try it again, roll her the other way. And this is also helpful if you have multiple staff. Okay, once the sling is generally in a good position, we can try to get the leg pieces underneath, just so it eliminates some work once you move the lift in. Okay, looks pretty good. So as you move the lift in, you gotta be aware of your surroundings and where the person is. And we're gonna have to open the legs just to create a little bit wider base of support. I'm gonna show you technique to go in towards her feet. So if the person can lift their legs up, this is where you would cue them to lift their legs up, but if you have to assist, you might have to get down and assist the leg over, one leg over top, the other leg. Moving that. Good. Perfect. All right. Now we're going to lower the hanger here. And these lifts are nice because they go all the way to the floor. You don't have to readjust anything. And be aware of how far you're lowering it. Okay, that's pretty good. Remember, you want to hear a click and you want to feel some resistance when you're putting these clips on. That's really important. And remember, we're not crossing the legs. We're going up under the same leg on the same side. So at this point, it might be a little bit of a stretch to reach the top clips to here, so we might need to push the lift a little bit closer. But always be aware of where the person is and where the lift is. Remember, this is movable, so you can angle this down just for a little bit more room. Good. At this point, she's a little bit elevated. Maybe you can support her head and shoulders and kind of slide this up a little bit. Good. Remember, the sling doesn't have to be perfect. Once you start raising the lift, it'll all balance out. So at this point, we want her to cross her arms. You can keep this, your hand on this point of contact to kind of sit her up as you raise up. Let her know that we're going to be lifting her up off the floor. Remember, the brakes are not on, so the lift can balance itself. Once she's at this level, we can move over to the surface that we're transporting her to, which in this case is a chair. It might be a person's wheelchair, it might be a bed, it might be a recliner. Over there. Make sure that the surface you're going to has brakes on or is stable up against a wall. You can also hold the chair so it doesn't slide as you lower her down. Until there's a little bit of slack in the sling. And then remove the clips. You want to then remove the sling by lifting up. Make sure you're not pulling on skin or clothing. As the person leans forward, make sure you're in front of the person if there's no seatbelt so they don't fall forward as you pull the sling out from behind.